The annual service we call water communion was for many years practiced as a part of a fall ingathering service. That's because back in the day, lots of UU churches would see a decline in attendance over the summer because folks were busy or traveling, and things would then gear up at the beginning of the academic year. So water communion became sort of a symbolic gathering of a summertime scattered community coming back together in the fall. But in the last 20 years or so, our churches have been more year round. And I think it's because people realize they need church all year. Even so, we can remember the origins of this water communion service, which is an interesting story, I think. The water ceremony began as a part of the feminist movement within Unitarian Universalism. And it all started in a worship service in East Lansing, Michigan in 1980. It was led by two women, Lucille Shuck Longview and Carolyn McDade. By the way, Carolyn's the one that wrote the song Spirit of Life. It was all a part of the work that the UUA was doing more broadly to address the sexism inherent in religious literature and institutions. Now, Carolyn McDade describes it. It was a religious service created by and led by women who had long been silent in the pew. She writes this: as rivers in cycle release their waters and regain new beginnings, so do we. These beginnings are powerful, but not easy. But we still come to create and to celebrate and to live by the only spirituality worthy of our devotion, a spirituality that uplifts, empowers, and connects. Beginnings are powerful, but they're not always easy. It's hard to avoid this truth these days, as we're constantly being asked to start over, to adapt, to decide again. And even as we long for that beginning that would set us on a course that was firmly post-pandemic, post-social division, post-racism, post-grief, post-rage. I know these are the things you've been exploring over the last few weeks, and that you'll pick up again in the next 2 weeks. This longing for a radical new beginning is what it means to have a dream of a new world, a changed world. Just as the women who started the water communion dreamed of a world where women's spirituality and religious leadership would be fully integrated and empowered rather than silenced. Dreams like this are so important. They are the work of a moral imagination, and they are what makes the reality of a new world possible. And dreams like this are also really difficult to hold on to, especially when the new beginning feels farther and farther off, no matter how hard you work for those changes.